How does a Scrum Master or Agile Coach motivate a Scrum team? I don't know. Is that their job? I think it's part of their job. I mean, the accountability of the Scrum Master is the effectiveness of the team. How are we as effective as possible? And sad, unhappy people doing work are definitely not effective. If people don't care about the work that they're doing, if they don't feel an empathetic connection to the product, an empathetic connection to the stakeholders or the customers, then you're not going to get great products. That's where great products come from. So if a team is eminently demotivated, you've got to figure out a way to get some mojo back into that team, so that they can move forward. A really common thing that I see as the reason why teams get demotivated, is we're building the wrong thing and nobody turns up at the sprint review. Right, that's one. If even the I worked with a team in Norway, and the product owner didn't even bother to turn up for the sprint review. So why would the team care about what it is they're building if even the product owner doesn't care about what it is that they're building? Right, that's really powerful message there. But quite often it's because of the sprint goal, because teams tend to create sprint goals that encompass the entire sprint, right? So you need the entire 10 days in a 2-week sprint, 10 days to go well in order to achieve the sprint goal. Or you've got a sprint goal that's complete these 10 things, right? That's also that one. Or these 3 features. That's the other one that I see as well, right? They're all shit sprint goals, because what happens is the chances of success are smaller. And I don't know about you, but if I say to my customers, I'm going to do this, and then I have to listen to them complain about how I didn't manage to do that for whatever reason, I'm not a happy team. And if you do that sprint on sprint on sprint on sprint, why would you think the outcome would be anything else other than a demotivated, unhappy team that isn't able to deliver working product? So figuring out that the sprint goal doesn't have to be your whole sprint, right? And if you've got 3 important things you're working on, pick one. What's the most important? Not even what's the most important thing for the product, right? That for your sprint goal. What's the most important thing for your stakeholders at the sprint review, right? What do they care about? That's your sprint goal. It might only be 20% of the work you're going to do in the sprint. That's your sprint goal. That's what you're committing to show them at the end of that sprint. Everything else then effectively becomes optional. That's your buffer zone, but you're going to do as much as you can of that other stuff that needs to happen, right? It could be long-term architectural changes are happening. It could be 2 other features that you're working on in the product. But reduce the size of that sprint goal so that you have more chance of being successful at the end of the sprint. And if you're successful at the end of the sprint, it'll add a little bit of happiness to your team. You know, we were able to be successful. We did something. We provided it. If you focused on something that's of value to your customers, then the customers are like, "Oh, great job, team! Right? This is awesome. This is exactly what we want, and here's how we want you to." Because they're engaging, right? So the team sees people that care about what the work that they're doing, engaging with them, and that builds that motivation. So if you really goes back to Dan Pink's book Drive, right? Autonomy, mastery, and purpose, right? That purpose piece. If you don't have purpose, it all falls apart. So it makes sure that your team understands how their work helps other people, and have those other people part of that sprint review, so that they can tell the team that, yeah, this is great, it's helping us, we've solved this problem, we've solved that problem, here's the next thing we need to work on, and you'll start to build that motivation in the team. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, and subscribe. I always reply to comments, and if you want to have a chat about this or anything else Agile, Scrum, or DevOps, then please book a coffee with me through Naked Agility.